Hey there, Growthwellers. Welcome back to the channel where we focus on using our ADHD superpowers to create strong and successful businesses without driving ourselves or our partners crazy. If you're new here, I'm Josh, an entrepreneur with ADHD, a husband and dad of a proudly neurodivergent household. I'm a startup coach for one of the top accelerators in the US. I'm a pro songwriter and someone who's kind of learned to navigate the ups and downs of growing a successful business while having ADHD. So, today we're going to talk about the number one thing that you need to know before starting your business if you're an entrepreneur, especially with ADHD. So, you ready for it? Here goes. It's a big one. Don't do it alone. Seriously, trying to build a business alone, especially if you have ADHD, is like running onto the battlefield alone when there's a whole army ready and willing to help you fight the battle. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, I just started my business and I don't have money to hire people. And you're right. That's actually not what I'm talking about today. That comes later, and honestly, it's a bad idea right when you're starting your business, especially for an entrepreneur with ADHD. There's a lot of reasons why, but mainly it takes up too much mental capacity that you need for other things. But we're going to talk about that more in a later video. Today, what I'm talking about is surrounding yourself with people that can help you stay accountable, that you can learn from and exchange ideas, find inspiration, and realize that though your business idea is unique, you are not alone in the struggle to start your business. And by sharing our challenges and celebrating our successes with others like us, we all rise together. But before you think this is just a rah rah cheerleading, you can do it video, which it kind of is, because we all need that, but it's also a how to. We're going to cover why you need to find your crew and where you can find your crew. So let's talk about why you need to find your crew. First and foremost, surrounding yourself with like minded people provides accountability. When you have ADHD, staying focused can be a major challenge, and having someone to check in with, whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a peer group, keeps you on track. They'll help you set goals and stick to them, even on those days where your brain feels like it's running an endless marathon through the mud and the muck. Next up is new ideas. Have you ever had a discussion where you say, what if we did this? And the next person says, and you could do that. And then you say, well, what about this too? And that last thing that you said wasn't even in your brain before you started the discussion. Well, you've just experienced the power of group ideation, which the ADHD brain is incredibly gifted at. When you ideate with others, it's literally 1 + 1 = 3, or 3,000, or 3 million. You never know what's going to happen. And that's a good thing when you're starting a business. And once you get those ideas going, it leads to the next benefit of finding your crew, which is inspiration. This is a huge bonus. Surrounding yourself with like minded people fuels your creativity. ADHD brains thrive on stimulation and new ideas. And when you're in a community of fellow entrepreneurs, you're constantly exposed to fresh perspectives that can spark your next big idea. But one of the biggest benefits of all, realizing you're not alone. Entrepreneurship can be very isolating, and ADHD can amplify that feeling. Being a part of a community reminds you that other people are facing similar challenges. Sharing your experiences and listening to theirs creates a support network that's invaluable for your mental health and business success. So, where do you find your crew? Here's a few places that I've found work very well for me. First, find your spot. Here's what I mean. I have a few spots besides my home office here where I go to work, like a local co working space. There's an accelerator here in Atlanta. I've got 2 coffee shops that I love, depending on what I'm working on. And I know you might be thinking that those things sound very distracting, and how could you possibly get any work done with people coming in and out and doors opening and coffee machines whirring and all of that stuff? But I've found that the sense of community and having other people around you working and moving can actually help stimulate your brain and creativity. And for me, when I become a regular in these places, having somebody that I know will say, "Hey, hadn't seen you around in a while," kind of helps me to feel like I belong. Also, there's a ton of research out there by people a lot smarter than I am that says, when you are around other people doing focused work, you actually can stay focused better. When we see other people successfully focusing, we can successfully focus too. Next, you can join local business groups. So when I started my journey in entrepreneurship, I went and I joined Technology Association of Georgia. I worked on joining the Atlanta Marketing Meetup group, and then I ended up getting involved with Atlanta Tech Village and ATDC at Georgia Tech. And it just kind of got this momentum going that really helped me find like-minded people. I think where you live, I bet there's plenty of different meetups. So look, ask around, see what you can do to put yourself in community with like-minded people. If you can't find those types of communities where you live, there's also online communities. These are fantastic. There are lots of places online where you can find community with people just like you. In fact, here at Growthwell, I want to build this channel out to be a place where people like you and me can come and find accountability and new ideas and inspiration and belonging and know that we're all striving to do something great together. Then there's mastermind groups. Mastermind groups are small groups, usually paid, and they can be incredibly effective for accountability and brainstorming because everyone's aligned on achieving the same or similar things or solving the same kinds of problems. I'm actually going to put together a couple of these later this year. So if you want to know about those, make sure you hit the email list in the show notes. The last one, and this is kind of a bonus, is books. Now, I know reading books sounds really tough to a lot of people with ADHD. Sitting down, being quiet and still and reading books seems agonizing. Pro tip, I listen to most of mine and oftentimes on 1.5x speed, which helps me get through them a little bit faster. But also here at the Growthwell channel, I'm going to be reading books that I think would be valuable for you and for me. And then I'm going to be doing reviews and summary videos so that you can check those out. I've got a couple of them up now. There will be more coming. So make sure you subscribe so that you can get those and you can kind of get the Cliff's Notes version, if you will, and then decide it for yourself if you want to read it. The next one up for me to review is going to be Atomic Habits by James Clear. And now I'm currently reading ADHD is Awesome by Penn Holderness. It's hilarious. It's funny. I've laughed. I've cried. Penn, you'll probably never listen to this video, but thank you and your wife for writing this book. Now, real quick, I haven't mentioned social media, and that's intentional. Don't look for true community in social media. Sure, it's a great place to keep up with your friends, your relatives, find new inspiration and new ideas, but social media is designed to keep you engaged by giving you continuous hits of dopamine, which as an ADHDer, you know that that is like candy, but it's also like quicksand. You can quickly burn all of your productive time. You can zap your energy. And for many of us with ADHD, you can go down a deep, dark hole that's majorly detrimental to our mental health. So please be careful with social media and set boundaries that work for you. But enough of that. I'm sure there are lots of other ways that I haven't mentioned for you to connect and find like minded people. I'd love to see a discussion in the comments where we can talk about what works for you. And maybe there's somebody out there that needs your encouragement, or maybe you need the encouragement of somebody else that will be commenting. So let's get a conversation going. How can we help each other find our people? Because we all rise together. So to wrap it up, remember that as an entrepreneur with ADHD, your journey doesn't have to be a solo mission. In fact, it really shouldn't be. Surrounding yourself with the right people can transform your business and your life. So find your crew, lean on them, and let's pursue growth well together. Hey, friend, thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, I'd be honored if you'd give it a thumbs up, if you'd hit that subscribe button, if you'd share with a friend who you think needs to hear it so that we can grow and continue to pursue growth well together. I'd love for you to subscribe to my newsletter. I will be launching all kinds of tips and tricks and masterminds because I really want to help entrepreneurs with ADHD be incredibly successful in their business and their life. So thank you for watching, and let's go out there and pursue growth well together.